obeisances to Mother Lakshmi, and I want to pay my obeisances to Lord Sriman Narayan. I want to welcome all of you to our Sunday Satsang at the Sri Narayan Dham, Sri Sudarshan Goshala in Reservoir Hills, Durban, South Africa. I also want to welcome those of you that's watching this discourse. You cannot put a price on a guru. You cannot put a price on a guru. So I'm going to start off when I was an aspirant. When I was attending Satsang of Guruji at a local branch. However, throughout the 5 years, the coordinator of that satsang only taught the aspirants his experiences with Guruji. And after a while, the satsang became monotonous. And we knew the story because it was told about 5 times in a year. And myself, coming from the outside and not knowing anything about the Guru principle, I decided to start learning more about my Guru through his discourses. And from his discourses, he spoke to me. He instructed me to leave all my vices, which I followed to the T. He then instructed me to extend his mission in the right way. And in order to do so, I had to leave a multi-million rand business and extend his mission the right way. And if you go backward from this discourse back to my Guru, then you'll find that I am his only disciple who's extending his mission in the right way. And the right way is to the Guru Parampara system. Nobody cares how many hours you spend with the Guru. Nobody cares how many years you stayed with your Guru. That means absolutely nothing. That means absolutely nothing. If your Guru fed you with his own hands, that does not give you the right to become a disciple. If you stayed and you swept your Guru's kutir and you stayed with your Guru, that does not give you a right to become a disciple. The only way you can become a disciple is to relinquish all attachments to materialism. So in these branches here in Durban, 2 coordinators, one local and one from India, They attracted aspirants to Guruji by offering material rewards, of which they had no control. So if you wanted to follow Guruji, they would tell you, come to 8 satsangs and all your problems will be solved. Or come to 2 satsangs or 6 satsangs and do all of this and all your problems will be solved. Guruji did not solve his problems or the problems of his aspirants in this way. There is no scriptural injunction that shows if you attend 8 satsangs or 10 satsangs or 12 satsangs, your problem will be solved. You must make a change in your life and connect to the true path of the Guru-disciple relationship. And that is the only time when it will be considered to resolve your problems. So I took it as my life's mission because Guruji's teachings were being distorted here in South Africa. There are thousands of aspirants that love Guruji but have left organizations because you cannot be a coordinator in the disciplic succession. You have to be a disciple. The Vedas do not allow a part-time person or persons to promote the Guru Parampara. Nowhere in the Vedas is it allowed to be a part-timer. Otherwise, I would have continued running my multi-million rand business and you would have been sitting in a gold ashram now with a gold foundation. This too cannot coexist because India was lenient and his son took over from him. Then anybody could go and open a satsang somewhere. And this has caused a great confusion in the followers of Guruji here, particularly here in South Africa. The Guru-disciple relationship is absolute. The Guru-disciple relationship is absolute. And if one wants to become a preacher and preach the mission of Guruji, then that preaching should be done on the absolute platform. Preaching means preaching the teachings of Guruji and not how many years you know Guruji, how many trips you made to Guruji, how his ashram was founded. Those are not scriptural injunctions. They are Guruji's Leela, in which you had a part to play. And the Leelas and the scriptural injunctions and the preachings are two different things. To preach Sanatan Dharma in the Sri Sampradaya, you must be well versed in the Upanishads, Vedanta Sutra and Bhagavad Gita. You must not have peripheral knowledge of these three books that I've stated. You must know this knowledge intimately. And the scriptures state very, very clearly that in order to be a guru or a preacher, you must be versed in the Upanishads. You must know the Upanishads. Knowing the Guru does not mean you know the Upanishads. Feeding the Guru does not mean you know the Upanishads. Staying with the Guru for 18 years does not mean you know the Upanishads. Going to the Guru's ashram 54 times in your life does not mean you know the Upanishads. Knowing the Upanishads is knowing the Upanishads. All of these things mean nothing. All of these things mean nothing. Adhikar is with me for 4 years now. Because his brother is about to pop into the world, then you'll heard him singing today. Because I told him the brother is already singing in his mother's womb. So that troubled him. So he decided to start singing. But if Adhikar does not learn my discourses, 50 years later he can't go and tell people, he can't preach to people because he sang in my satsang and he spent 50 years with me. It means nothing. If you are a servant to a maths teacher and you prepare the maths teacher's food, you wash his car, you clean his garden, you drive him to his maths lectures, do you become a mathematician? So these two people in South Africa, one from India and one from South Africa, has been misleading thousands of devotees that loved Guruji. But because they were misled, they are now astray. Go to their satsangs. The only thing you'll hear is their relationship with Guruji. Both these people. You'll only, because they do not have capacity, they did not surrender 100%. They did not leave their wife, their children, their money, their business, and become real disciples. They wanted to do this as a show. And the Guru-disciple relationship is not a show. It's a living entity. You have to live it. You cannot show it. You must live within it. So you cannot put a price tag on a guru. You cannot put a price tag on a guru. A guru is not worth your rands and cents. A guru's worth is determined spiritually. A guru's worth is determined as per his surrender and in proportion to his or her surrender. You can go on Siddhartha Ashram. You can Google Siddhartha Ashram, go here if there's any discourses. There's only main day celebrations. Go here if there's discourses in the way that I give discourses to the world. And from these two branches, they're not on social media because they don't have anything spiritual to say. Because they don't have this spiritual capacity to say. So I'm saying, in order to follow the Parampara system, you can only get connected to a Parampara disciple. You cannot get connected via a part-timer. You cannot get connected via a part-timer. The Parampara system does not work on checking your birth date and telling you your destiny. That any Tom, Dick, Harry and other Harrys can do. Anyone can go learn astrology. Anyone. You can drink and learn astrology. You can murder and learn astrology. You can do drugs and learn astrology. Astrology is a subject. Spirituality is actual living. Okay? So we went around. We were aspirants first. We were aspirants first. And in the Guru Parampara, in Sanatana Dharma, nobody tells you to go to a river and take some sand and some blue stone and throw it for 6 months, you'll come away right. Shyam was okay. He went to a river and he was throwing these things. Look how he turned out. Yeah, it was okay when we went there, Standard 9. Yeah. And when we went there was a huge buzz that a great saint has come from India. When he asked me, what can I do for you? I said, Bhai, you can't do anything for me. Only my Guru can do. And there was a huge noise. And we all laughed. And he laughed with me because he knew. Only a Guru from the Guru Parampara can do something. And nobody else. Anyone come from India and do a Havan Shanti means nothing. It means nothing at all. If you are not from the Guru Parampara, it means nothing. And today, on my way to Satsang now, I heard that if there's any Prohit, you'll know who's a Prohit, a Pandit. You'll know who's a Pandit that does prayers. All Pandits supposed to be now affiliated to an association which is governing the Prohits. If any Prohit is caught doing goat prayers, he'll be struck off because there's no goat prayers in the Vedas and in the books of the Prohits. He will be struck off. So now you all can look. Go to a goat prayer, ask them who. There's no such thing as clean prayers first and dirty prayers later. So they say they come and do the clean prayers. They took your 2 grand, 3 grand. Alright? Now it is not allowed because it is not in the Vedas. I'm happy South Africa has woken up. My 3 poor goats in the back, they are safe. Okay? You'll hear them talking like men. You'll hear them talking like men? Yes. All of y'all? Why? Because they were men before. And they sacrificed the goat. Alright? Am I supposed to give Anand a wake-up call? Oh, sorry. Anytime you see anyone in slumberland, sound him, and then my drummers will just echo it with it and make it into a musical note. Alright? So we need to understand very, very carefully. And everything starts at home. Everything starts at home. And our home is our father, who's Guruji. Who's Guruji. So when I surrendered fully, the beauty of this entire thing is that when I went to India and when I got initiated, the town branch took all my photographs. The leader of the Durban branch is from India, but is in charge of the Durban branch. He took out all my photographs. The leader of the Durban branch, his name starts with A, but he's from India. He took out all my photographs when myself, Sarita and Shyam got initiated. He was so happy that we took initiation from Swamiji, because the Westville devotees did not accept Swamiji as a guru in India. And because we went from Westville and we respected the protocol, they were very, very happy. So when I took my initiation, when my arms were burnt, like how I burnt yours arms, I was photographed by the town branch, the head of the town branch. Today they say, I'm not a guru. Because they didn't want to surrender to Guruji and extend his mission. They only wanted. They only wanted. The day I took my initiation, that same leader from town branch, his wife asked me to go and ask Swamiji whatever I want, he'll fix. And you know what I told her? I told her then it's contradicting my initiation. You remember? You remember? We were sitting downstairs Guru Maharaj's house. I told her, no, I cannot do that because it is contradicting my initiation. Initiation means I now surrender myself to you. You will give me as per yourself. I cannot demand, for I do not know what is right for me and what is wrong. So I explained my surrender to her, and she said, no, that's just a saying. We don't work like that. You must go and ask. So I was strict and principled from the second I took my initiation. And there's a lady at that time who was in my room, who was in both these branches. Her name is Mrs. Kedden. She's still alive. She was in both these branches equally. And she witnessed my initiation. She witnessed my spiritualization because she was in the same. So whenever we have problems here in our satsang, then our devotees run to these other places. And these people, they did not have the capacity, they didn't want to extend Guruji's mission. They only wanted. I did not want. I wanted to extend my Guru's mission. Because nobody was doing it in the way that Guruji stated in his discourses how it must be done. And see today where we are. Town, that branch there is 30 years. The other branch is about 22 years. And this branch, 5 years. This branch, 5 years. We teach in the world the Guru principle. We teach in the world Sri Vaishnavism. We teach in the world Vishishtadvaita philosophy. We teach in the world Bhagavad Gita. We teach in the world Guru Gita. And our teachings are reaching over 40,000 people a day around the world. And we have stats to prove it. What you did in 30 years and what you did in 22 years. You understand? You couldn't do it because to become a preacher, you have to be endowed with transcendental knowledge. And that knowledge, the finalization of that knowledge, comes from the Guru Parampara. And only your Guru can endorse it. And that's your test. If 100 people say, I'm a genuine Guru, put them in a line and see who has transcendental knowledge. And who has transcendental knowledge is a Guru. That's your litmus test. Amita? Everything in life you can test, isn't it? Yes, if you want to test who's the right Guru, then that Guru must have transcendental knowledge. Guru means what? Taking you from darkness into light. Darkness means what? Ignorant of spiritual knowledge. That's what darkness means. You are ignorant of spiritual knowledge. All other knowledge you have. You know how to put lipstick. You know how to put eyelashes. You know how to shave your eyelashes. You know how to cut your eyebrows. Isn't it, Amita? Yeah, all other knowledge you have. Only knowledge missing is spiritual knowledge. So when we say you are ignorant of spiritual knowledge, and the Guru must take you out of that ignorance from not knowing spiritual knowledge to knowing spiritual knowledge. If a person gives you false knowledge, like how I stated here today, false knowledge there and false knowledge there, then you can verify that they cannot be gurus. How you can verify? By the knowledge that they give. If the knowledge is false, then the person giving the knowledge is false. If the knowledge is absolute, then the person giving the knowledge is absolute. And this is why nobody has contested any of my discourses, commented negatively on any of my discourses, or any of our postings that reaches 40,000 people a day. Okay? Why? The knowledge is right. So if the knowledge is right, what it means? The Guru is right. Very simple. If I got a builder to build this wall behind me, and he said he's a builder, if he's a builder, he must have a knowledge of building. And if you see this wall went that way, then we'll know he is not a builder. Alright? My builder only knows building, nothing else. He knows carpentry, nothing else. Alright? And he's an expert in his field. He's a builder. He's a bricklayer. He's a carpenter. He's a tiler. He's a roof maker. Alright? But once you take him out of that, he's lost. So we have to keep him in his compartment. Just like that. The Guru must be found in his knowledge. Guru must be found in his knowledge. The entire Upanishads, 99.999% of the Upanishads. Upanishad means come, sit near. What Upanishad means? Come, sit near. It means subsequently, come, sit near Guru-disciple relationship. The Guru teaches the disciple the scriptures. That's what Upanishad means. So you have to be a Guru. You can't be associated with a Guru. I never meet my Guru. I never spent 18 years with him whilst he was walking in the forest and looking for a place to build ashram. I wasn't there when he built he laid his foundation. I wasn't there when he completed his ashram. I never touched him. I was not there. I met him 1 year after he left his mortal coil. These people were there. They stayed with him. They visited him. You understand? I was never there. But I surrendered full. I surrendered 100% fully. So they are busy lying in their satsangs. It can't be satsangs. In their gatherings. Alright? If you look at it spiritually, it will be illegal gatherings. Remember in apartheid days in South Africa, more than 2 or 3 people gathered. The security branch whacked you. Right? In the spiritual world, they don't get whacked now. Next lifetime. Next lifetime for using and abusing Guruji's name. Using and abusing Guruji's name. As soon as I set eyes upon my Guru, I left the wrong world and I came to the right world. As soon as I set eyes on my Guru, I left the wrong world and I came to this right world. There are others that's using his name and they still continuing in the old ways. Then you cannot be with your Guru. And this is why those people that do not comply, I wish them away. Because I don't want them to waste their time and my time. The Guru Parampara do not work like that. You can't sit here in my satsang for a year and in October go cut a goat. I won't allow it. Anand is very happy I made that statement. Yes, and this is why, so those people that are not here, that's there, are all involved in goat cutting. Go trace them, all of you. Okay? They're all involved in goat cutting. You think Guruji will condone goat cutting? Guruji comes from the greatest sampradaya in this universe. You think his teachings will allow impurity? So those gurus who is allowing those coordinators who allows the people to do whatever they're doing, it means they're after something from the people and not the purity of the people. You understand, Amita? I can teach one person for my whole life. I won't be crossing the line with my guru. One person. I don't have to have 1,000 people. In the 1,050 real devotee, 950 goat cutters, and show I'm a great guru. Goat cutting is not allowed in the Sri Sampradaya. And the goat cutters are in these other branches. They ran from here, there, so they can continue cutting goats. I hope they do not steal my tree. Please do not show the camera to my three beautiful goats. Are there any questions? Are there any questions? Jai Shri Ram.